How you doing there, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Doing another food review for you off of my Sampler Platter. Oh, yeah. So I'm doing just a quick batch of videos here. I started off with some sun-kissed peach and such. Then I went to Zapp's Voodoo Heat potato chips. So in the order of doing drink, so that I have that little bit of a break. Next thing up is drink. What's the drink? You want to know. I want to know. You don't want to know. You don't care. But anyway, I mean, I already know. So if I already know and you don't care, what are we doing here, folks? We're doing it for Power Man 5000. That's what it comes down to. This is all for Power Man 5000. Anyway, we are doing, boom, Mountain Dew, Charged Raspberry Lemonade Game Fuel. Yes, folks, this is, it's AMP, on top of that, yes. Wow, that's a long name when you think about it. Mountain Dew AMP, new Charged Raspberry Lemonade Game Fuel, 0 calories. Jesus. Anyway, yeah, folks, so this is, it's part of the Mountain Dew brand. There's quite a few of them. AMP is their, their run of energy drinks, which are actually pretty good in terms of the flavor. I'm a big fan of the mango and lime, which is weird, because I don't like mango that much. Like, it's okay. And same thing with lime. Like, I like both of those flavors when used with things, but putting them together, I definitely didn't think was going to work. But man, they just chimeraed that thing together into a fantastic drink. So yeah, I figured I just did soda, then I did potato chips. Let's do the trifecta of awfulness for your body energy drink. I I don't smoke, and I do drink a tiny bit, mostly for social occasions and stuff like that. I have a few drinks in the house, but I'm not gonna. Well, one of those I am eventually gonna do as a review, because it just seemed too interesting to pass up. Excuse me, but the rest of the stuff is just up in a cupboard that I use when I get in social stuff. Anyway, so for those of you who aren't aware, Game Fuel, like I said, Mountain Dew, AMP is kind of its own thing, and then Game Fuel is kind of like an extension of that. And it's kind of weird. Like back in the early 2000s, I want to say, Mountain Dew started pushing to become like the video game drink. And I don't know if that was like a conscious thing or if they just eventually realized like they had a big gamer base. I don't know. But they started doing like they do like promotional flavors, like Halo and stuff, all kinds of stuff. And that's kind of what Game Fuel is, except it's not promotional. It's just a thing they do. And the thing that kind of makes it different from their normal AMP is the weird-ass tag that they have. And I remember when this thing came out, man, I spent some time trying to figure this thing out. And I don't think I even did it right properly at the first time. But yeah, the cool thing about it is that these are actually resealable cans. This thing right here, you can pop it back in, and it's resealable, which is pretty nifty. I mean, I'm pretty sure, at least for myself personally, every time I've had a Game Fuel, which I do not drink with any regularity, I basically drink these to try the new flavors. That's about it. Every so often, just as kind of like morbid curiosity, I'll, if I'm out at a gas station on a long drive or something, I'll be like, yeah, all right, we'll go for one of those. So yeah, I saw this one, figured I'll give it a shot because it's there, and yeah, we'll try it out for you folks. So I don't really, like I said, really the only immediate story I have specifically to do with Game Fuel was the first time I got one. And like I was genuinely out in the Walmart parking lot, like trying to figure out exactly how this thing worked for an embarrassingly long period of time. Generally, I'm smarter than that, I like to think. I don't know, maybe it was an off day, maybe it was just really early in the day or something. But yeah, and really other than that, like I've already done a Mountain Dew product before with the Mountain Dew Violet, so I can't do like the story I did with that. Um, I mean, yeah, like really, like Mountain Dew is just kind of an ever-present thing. It's been around forever. So I don't have any like super duper specific stories that I can think of. Um, Really, like the only thing I like when I mean, I guess I have one. Okay, so and I'm gonna run out of these, and I'm sure I'm gonna do more Mountain Dew flavors if I keep doing this show. I call it a show. Oh, how bold I've become. Uh, Pitch Black. And I mentioned this in my Violet one, Mountain Dew Violet. That Pitch Black is my favorite flavor of the Mountain Dews. Absolutely love it. But it's always a weird seasonal thing. They never seem to have full confidence in it. They even did a competition like I think like 2 years ago. It was between that and Baja Blast to see which one would become a normal flavor. And Pitch Black won out. It won out, which for me was great, especially because Baja Blast. You can get Baja Blast at Taco Bell. And I know some people have said, like, well, you can get Pitch Black at certain gas stations and stuff. You used to be able to get one at Speedways, but now they have a different one. They have one called Typhoon, which is, like, specific to just Speedways, which is pretty good. But yeah, so I remember after, like, I didn't know which one had won, actually. But then one day, I was staying with my mom for the weekend, and one day I went over there, and I went into Walmart, over by her house, and they just had, like, loads of Pitch Black. I was like, yay, Pitch Black won! So I went over there, and, I remember I got, like, a few of them. I think, like, maybe, like, because since I was by my mom's house, I wasn't going to get, like, a full 12-pack or something. I was only there for, like, one more day. But I went over there, I think I got, like, maybe, like, 6 of them, like, the bottles. And I remember being, like, really, really happy. And then I went back to my mom's place, and I was, like, messing around on my phone. And then, just by complete happenstance, the day that I got my Pitch Black back, which, again, they went back on. Now I think it's back to Baja Blast or something like that. The day I got my Pitch Black back. No, I got that right. Anyway, I was flipping around on my phone, and it was the day that I found out that Loveline, which was a radio show for many, many years, that it was coming to an end finally. And, man, did that suck. Like, it was such a weird thing because I was so happy about the Pitch Black, and then, like, just immediately took, like, complete 180 just, because I really liked that show. I hadn't listened to it too much in recent years, and people will be like, oh, well, you're part of the problem. No, folks, the reason why Loveline closed down is because they weren't getting sponsorship deals the way they used to. Terrestrial radio has been suffering for a long time anyway. But anyway, but I really liked that show, especially when I was, like, late middle school through high school. That show actually, like, because it was all about, well, I mean, go ahead and Google it yourself. But it dealt with a lot of stuff with, like, mature content and things. And for myself, I know there was more than one occasion where listening to that stuff, listening to people call in with some of their questions, answered questions for me. So that's my Mountain Dew Loveline story. Anyway, we're going to do the thing. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Open. Ah! Okay, I think I remember this now. All right, so you pop up this part, right? There's still that part. So what do? Swoosh! You pull it back, and you got the little nub. Which the only problem with that, and I remember, too, and I could be wrong, now, pretty much all canned drinks in the United States, at least the mass-produced ones, I could have used this for my story. Anyway, they use, like, what they used to call, like, the big mouth opening. Because it used to be more narrow. And I think Mountain Dew was the first one, at least that I remember, where they made a thing out of using the big mouth one. And eventually everybody followed suit. But I guess, other countries and stuff, they do it differently. So this is a tiny little hole. But, yeah, because, like, I think the last time I opened it, I just popped open that part, and you can still technically get some of the drink out of that side, but it's like a trickle. So we're going to give this a shot. Like I said, this is Mountain Dew with the 0 calories and such. Oh, see, now it's got a thing. I don't know if it had a thing when I was doing it. I will say I like the textured can. Ooh. It's a nice touch, Mountain Dew. I like it. Yeah, there's charged raspberry lemonade. I like raspberry lemonade. I like charged things. I like when my phone is charged. It's 0 calories. Yay! I didn't even know that when I bought it. I don't care. So, let's give it a shot. Okay. So, first off, if you're expecting some really charged raspberry lemonade flavor, you're not going to get it. It's there, but it is after a whole bunch of kind of, I don't know exactly, like carbonated energy drink flavor. And for those of you who drink energy drinks, you might kind of know what I'm talking about. Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I could be absolutely wrong. I think Mountain Dew, their energy drinks are a little bit less on like the caffeine and stuff than like Monster and everything. But again, I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, wow, you really do not get much in the way of that raspberry lemonade flavor. Like, there's genuinely, for me, there's like it's there, but there's no bite from the raspberry or the lemonade, which are two flavors that traditionally have a nice bite. Not getting any of that from this. It's just that carbonation and then sort of the energy drink taste. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's kind of part of the reason why I never really went for the Game Fuel stuff, is that from what I recall, and I could be wrong, that's kind of how most of them sort of taste. Like, you get sort of this wave of kind of just generic soda energy drink flavor, and then you get like a little trickle of whatever the flavor is supposed to be. And to be fair, this is also 0 sugar and calories, so it does have a little bit of that 0 calorie taste to it. And if you've tried 0 calorie stuff, you know what I'm talking about. We'll do one more real quick. I mean, it's fine. This is definitely going to be one of my ones where it's not going to be negative, but it's not going to be positive. It's perfectly fine. This is like as an energy drink, because that's kind of, that's what it is. There's way better energy drinks out there. And the thing, like I said, the thing is with Mountain Dew, not the Game Fuel, but like their standard ones, they actually have good flavors for their energy drinks. With this, though, it just tastes weak. There's, some flavor there, like I said, you do get some of the raspberry lemonade. It's not non-existent, but it's mostly just sort of generic flavor. And, yeah, that doesn't really do much for me. I'm gonna drink the rest of it at some point. It's an energy drink, so I've got some stuff I want to do later tonight. So, that'll probably be what I end up doing, finishing this thing off. But yeah, you shouldn't be drinking energy drinks, just for the flavor anyway, because you'll die at some point. But, I work at night, and I've certainly been known to try some energy drinks. I definitely like to, at the very least, I like to try new flavors. This is one where some of them, I try them, and I like them enough where I'll make note of it, and if I see them again, and I need an energy drink, I'll grab one of those. With this one, definitely not going to be one of them. This is, not so much. By no means the worst energy drink I've ever had. I think the worst one I ever had, back when energy drinks were first becoming a thing in America, Monster had only been out for, I think, at least as I knew it, for maybe a year or two. And then there was this weird little boom of energy drink stuff, a lot of which were just done by the same companies that had Monster and everything, Which actually, if you look it up, by the way, if you're interested, the history of Monster is actually pretty interesting. But yeah, they had one, and I think it was called, like Manic or something like that. And the thing is, too, it probably wasn't that, but I'm sure there's an energy drink called Manic. But it was something like that. And I remember trying it, and it tasted like drinking cigarette butts. I've never drank a cigarette butt, but to be fair, my dad used to smoke, and he would go over there and occasionally use soda cans as ashtrays. And there was at least one occasion where I didn't know that he'd done that. And I went over there and went to take a swig. Bad time. But yeah, it tasted similar. That was not good. And I went over there. I remember I was so stunned by how awful it was. I went over there and I went around to my friends. I was like, Joe, try this. And Joe was like, I don't even like carbonated stuff. And I'm like, do it, Joe. I'm bigger than you. And I still am. And he tried it. He's like, no, this is awful. And I was like, Drew, try this. He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, do it. You're bigger than me. He still is. But he tried. He was like, man, yeah, that is really gnarly. And then I went to my friend Mike. I was like, Mike, try this. And Mike was like, okay. Because Mike was like the only one of my friends who liked Monster at that point. Still kind of a novelty thing. And he tried it. It was like, it's fine. I was like, really? Like, we were genuinely awestruck. And he was just like, yeah, it's fine. I'm like, do you want it? And he's like, if you don't want it, I'll drink it. And I'm like, I was going to pour it down the gutter if you didn't want it, or if nobody wants it. So, dude, go ahead. So he drank the rest of it. And I don't know, maybe that was, I know like later on he had some back problems and, some other stuff and everything. Maybe that was the start of it all, that freaking nasty-ass air drink. Anyway, that's the end of the thing. So, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to end off on this. Like I said, this thing, it's weak. Not so much. It's fine, though. You can drink it, it's not reviling or anything, but it's not great. So anyway, folks, I'm going to end this off. I hope that whatever you're doing, wherever you are, you have a fantastic rest of your day, fantastic week, fantastic month, fantastic life. Sometimes I do years, sometimes I do life. Anyway, but yes, I hope that you're just kicking ass and taking names all over the place. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end this off. Ran a little bit longer than I wanted because I decided to tell a story about an energy drink thing because that's what I do. I blather on about bullshit. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sign off. And folks, if you enjoy listening to me blather on about energy drinks and stuff that I did, 15 years ago or so, I need you to do two things for me. Watch the video, do the thing. Bye.